Hello, everybody, and welcome. We just thought we'd do a really quick video from our siblings page, and this might be once a month type thing. Who knows? But yeah, this is me and Hazel, and we're two siblings, slightly older siblings. So we're looking,
Not
hopefully,
that old.
well, definitely not that old, never that old. But yeah, given our age, maybe we'll have different people from the siblings group on in coming months and whatever, to give more sort of broader experiences from a sibling's perspective. But yeah, we just thought we'd have a little chat, and Facebook Live can't do co-chats at the moment, which is rather annoying. So Hazel's had a chat a month or two ago, and we thought we'd both join today. And yeah, Hazel, first off, maybe introduce yourself, and then maybe we can just give some really quick advice from your perspective as to what it would have been like being a Duchenne sibling in this current situation of COVID-19 lockdown.
Okay. So hi everyone. My name's Hazel. I am a Duchenne sibling. My brother Darren was diagnosed with Duchenne back in 1994. He sadly passed away back in 2013. So obviously I have come into this whole experience following my brother's passing, unfortunately. And I didn't really meet anyone else who even knew what Duchenne was until, 2 years ago, 18 months ago?
Yeah, I mean, your story is really interesting because you kind of came along to speak and tell people about what it was like, and you delivered what was sort of akin to like a TED Talks level speech. But you sort of told us, you'd never seen another person with Duchenne, or not specifically, in your life up until that point. You'd been involved with like hospice charities, was it? But not other muscular dystrophy charities.
Yeah, and I think when we were involved in the fundraising for the hospice and stuff, like I only ever went to the hospice like once. So the hospice was a place that my brother went to. It wasn't anything for me. It was for my brother and it was for my parents. So even then, I didn't really meet anyone.
Even though got quite
yeah.
close age gap between you. Was it 4 years?
Yeah. Just under 3 years. Yeah.
So yeah, and I think it's interesting because that's really strange for certainly this day and age. I think that the majority of people are heavily in the community, if not just in the community in some level. Although looking back to when I was growing up, obviously my brother Andrew, 28 years old at the moment, we were growing up in the 1990s, and no internet, nothing, so it was more of a common experience.
And I do think that has played a major part in how people are learning to cope with it. From what I've seen, and from what I can see, almost from an outsider's perspective with the same experience, is that social media has totally transformed the way people try and look for support, which is a good thing.
I was telling people this in 2012, no one had listened to me.
They're listening now, it's okay.
Yeah. But it is interesting, isn't it? Because obviously it helps, but then it can get to a point where it's a bit too much as well, isn't it?
You have to find the balance. Like all social media, too much is not good.
Oh yeah. Did you have were there benefits to not being too involved in the community for you?
Yeah.
Or do you wish, going back now, do you wish you knew people, or are you happy with where it was?
You know what? Strangely, even growing up, I used to say that ignorance was bliss for me. the only time it really started to affect me was when I became a mum. Until that point, I hadn't known any different. So even though I knew it had been difficult, and I knew that there was elements of it that maybe I didn't really understand, but I knew were different to a normal life, it was kind of okay because I didn't know any different. But once I started having my own kids and raising them, and my son doesn't have Duchenne, I'm very lucky, he's a very healthy kid. All of a sudden, I had this comparison, and that's when all my problems started.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Hopefully you can share more of your story in, you know, episodes that we or videos that we have, you know, in, you know, to come through the, you know, next few months or whatever, or if anyone has any questions or whatever, because I think you've got such a rich and deep, you know, really sort of worthwhile story to tell. But yeah, in terms of what's going on right now, I think we thought we'd just... What?
It's do you know what? It's really, really strange, because I know we were talking about doing this video today, and thought it was really important to try and celebrate siblings, especially at this really weird time. But I never experienced anything like this as a sibling, as a Duchenne sibling. So even though I've got apps, I can't tell you what it's like because I've not experienced it. My brother's not here anymore, so I can't tell you what that's like. But I can absolutely sympathise with what I think some of you may be feeling and what some of you may be going through. I think I can really understand how it might be difficult for you.
It's funny you say you, as if you're including me in that, because again, I think that one of the things with siblings is you don't often think about yourself. Like for me, when I'm talking about this right now, I'm kind of thinking of parents who have young children, and maybe there's one child who's often been the focus for obvious reasons, and you know they're, you know, having to have all the kids at home all at once, and all the extra added stresses that can come through Duchenne muscular dystrophy in a situation like this. And, you know, for someone who's maybe a kid, maybe an adolescent, you know, trying to figure things out themselves and trying to get through this situation, but also kind of worried about everything that's going on and all of the fear and panic that there is right now.
And do you know what really, really, like, kind of I do think about is, could you imagine right now if you were a Duchenne sibling going through all of this and you're a teenager?
Yeah.
Like, how crap must that be for you right now?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like a really stupid thing to say, but it's like, you know, right now we're in a situation where everyone is in the same boat. Everyone's having to stay indoors and not go out. We all know, but it's like if you're a teenager, like it's that first sense of independence and freedom. And when you're a Duchenne sibling, that stuff is so much more important.
Yeah.
So much more important. Yeah. So to not have that, I think on the Duchenne siblings' point of view, I think that's really, really tough at the moment. And my heart really does go out to all of those people that, you know, all of those people that have got to deal with that right now.
Yeah. What would you say to parents, anyone who's sort of looking around right now? I guess there isn't really anything to say, is there? It's more just...
it's all been said, isn't it? You know, look, there's so much advice out there, and you don't need it from some blue-haired nobody telling you what to do. There's plenty of proper advice out there, but you know, everyone's got to find their own way of dealing with this. But I think the one good thing it can do for families, and I hope it does this, because I don't know if it's happened for you and your brother and your situation, but certainly with my husband and my son, we've said that the one good thing to come out of this is that even though it's not in the way we'd like it, we are getting to spend a lot of time together as a family. And even though we want to throttle one another 23 hours of the day, there's that brief moment in time where you're actually really enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that you're able to appreciate it a bit more, because there's nothing else you can do. And so you have to take the good from what you can get, really, can't you?
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit here and spit advice to everyone, because look, the advice is out there. Look after your mental health, look after your physical health, try not to kill each other, have plenty of chocolate in the cupboard.
Yeah.
And just trying to talk to one another as well. Like, you know, talk to your friends, talk to your family, but talk to one another.
It's just hard to say that if someone's 14 years old or 15 or 12. Or...
I think it depends what kind of relationship you have with your parents and what kind of relationship you have with your sibling.
Yeah.
I was very lucky in that me and my brother were very, very close. I think you and Andy, I know, are close as well, aren't you?
Yeah, but then that's extra stresses. So, like, for example, right now, you know, I'm still doing most of my brother's care, but you know, it's not the same kind of relationship or the same kind of working way as things have been. You know, just over today, we were sitting in the garden for a bit, but you know, it's weird because it's tough on him as well, but it's tough on the whole regime, and the whole routine has changed. I think that might be an added thing for families with DMD at the moment as well, that's almost not thought about, is this idea that Duchenne is built around routine a lot of the time, whether it's going to a hospital appointment, or if you're older, perhaps making sure that there are things to do at certain times throughout the week. So Andrew has choir, he has his acting thing that he does on Thursdays, and this thing, so that life can work like clockwork in a really good and positive way. And when all of that drives to a halt, it can be really tough.
I think the care regime, what you talk about there, but also I think every family dynamic has that routine. Kids go to school, kids have clubs, parents go to work, you know, you go to your appointments, you know, you have your caregivers coming in to help you out. Everyone's got that, but all of that is completely, it's still there, but it's not the same. It's not the same. I think the thing is it's really hard, because if you're a Duchenne sibling and you feel like you've got nowhere to go, that's why we created this group. Because before any of this COVID-19 nonsense, 100 years ago, when I was growing up with all of this, I felt really alone. And I did feel lonely. And I did feel like I was the only one on the planet that really understood what. And even then, it was like I'd sit there and I'd be like, I don't understand what's going on in my head. I don't understand what's going on around me. And even at 32 years old, I'm still having to grasp so many concepts with it. So I'd say, you know, be kind to yourself. If you're really struggling right now, and you were struggling before anyway, because let's be honest, it's a difficult situation with this, isn't it? And then this COVID-19 comes along and makes it even harder for you. Firstly, just be kind to yourself. You know, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to struggle. But it's really important that you find someone or somewhere you can go, where you can talk, where you can let it out, where you can let off steam. And at the moment, I know that's only going to be through a video-based concept, perhaps, or maybe it's writing a letter to someone, or however it is, expressing that feeling. Make sure you get it out and don't bottle it up. And that would be my only little bit of advice that I'll be willing to give to a young person at the moment, is just be kind to yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to be the support that you think you've got to be, because you don't need to be it. And parents, don't make them be it either. Please don't expect your kids to help out more because everyone's in it together. Because I can assure you, your kids have got enough to deal with. And I know you've got enough to deal with as well, but you're the parent, it's your job. It's not the siblings' job to take any of that on. And they will take it on. They'll take on the emotional burden, they'll take on any of the burden you need to make it easier. That's just, don't let them take it. Just give them the space, give them something to do. You know, get them to use, you know, teach them something, get them to knit, I don't know, but just
get them to knit.
Just do something with them. Just don't expect them to take on any more of the sort of mental and emotional burden that they may feel like they might want to take on, to make it easier for their family unit.
Well, I think that's I think that's a good way to end the first of these videos that we'll try and do on a regular basis through this siblings network. And yeah, I think again, it's just what we're trying for here is this dual focus of, on the one hand, helping siblings, people living with, you know, a brother or sister with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, also helping parents and families. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, yeah, hopefully we'll try and get more people on and express kind of broad array of views. And perhaps if that's you, if you want to come on and have a chat, do so.
Yes, please.
So yeah, it's been National Siblings Day, and yeah, this is the start. We'll also say that, again, we keep saying it, and hopefully normality will resume, and we will have the family days out that we're planning to have. Hoping to have one in the north of England, UK, another in the south throughout 2020. And families, young and old, whatever, in the Duchenne community, all welcome. And a whole host of us siblings will be coming along too. So yeah, if you have any ideas or suggestions about that, let us know. And yeah, otherwise, keep in touch. Catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.